Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
Some people don't like the idea that we are pro-life, that we have a different opinion to them. And whilst they're entitled to believe that, to actually bring in a law to prevent us from sharing our views and from praying, that's really, really concerning. So this is where the buffer zone actually ends. Even forms of prayer have been banned inside this zone. We want to challenge this public space protection order so that we can actually get back outside the abortion centre, offering real help to women who are in crisis pregnancy situations.
Move it, move it, move it. This is not a vigil, this is an ambush. It's an ambush. Move!
We've been abused physically, verbally, we've been spat at, sworn at, we've had cars driven towards us at high speed. The list is endless. This is where we're actually now holding our prayer vigil. We have got a sign and it just says pregnant, need help, and then there's a telephone number. What is it they don't want? Some people quietly praying, offering help to women.
Why do you think they can stand in, body girls? Do you know what they've gone through to go in there? Do you care?
Don't touch my phone and don't touch me, I'm just warning you.
We can see that because there's a difference in ideology, that people will never be happy with us having a voice. So this is the leaflet that we offer to women going into the abortion centre. The medical information inside it has been checked by a doctor to make sure that it's all accurate. We've just got some stats to do with abortion and the risks, and then that's a list of some of the help that we offer to women or couples who are in difficult situations. Any help really that they need to continue their pregnancy. For over 10 years, we've been running the 40 Days for Life campaign in Birmingham. At the beginning of 2020, we started praying outside the Roberts Clinic, offering alternatives to women. But almost immediately, there was opposition from the locals. Now, we know well over 100 women who chose life because of the help and the support that were offered to them by 40 Days for Life. Now, the sad thing is that a PSPO has now been brought in, a public space protection order, and this means that around the Roberts Clinic there is what's called a buffer zone, preventing us from going there to offer real help and alternatives to these women. A few quotes here from some of the women that we've helped support. One of them says, 3 years ago we came here for an abortion, but someone gave us a leaflet and because of that we now have our little girl. Another says, I felt abortion was my only option, that I couldn't carry on with my pregnancy, but I did, and I now have my beautiful baby Betsy. And these quotes are all from women who've allowed us to use part of their testimony on our leaflets. When people hear PSPO, they might think that the activities being banned are antisocial behaviour, harassment, intimidation, the sort of things that we'd all agree with. But in effect, what is happening here, the things that are being banned are prayer, counselling, the use of the words mum, baby, fetus, soul in any text or images relating to abortion. This is what isn't allowed inside the PSPO. We're just coming out of the car park of St Joseph and St Helens Catholic Church. This is the grounds of the Catholic Church, and we're actually coming to the end of the area in which we're allowed to be, and we can see this is where we're actually now holding our prayer vigil. As you can see, we've just got 2 people quietly praying. We have got a sign now. We never had a sign when we were outside the abortion centre, but because we're a bit further away, we have got a sign, and it just says pregnant, need help, and then there's a telephone number. Actually, I've already been told quite a few times that this is offensive, how inappropriate this sign is, that children could see these words, and yet what does it say? It says pregnant, need help. Yet we're being accused of being grossly offensive. So this is where the buffer zone actually ends. I take a step, I'm now inside the public space protection order, and certain things would be banned, certain words that I couldn't say, certain prayers that I wouldn't be able to say. But I take a step back in, and now it's okay for me to voice my opinion, to pray, to do with abortion, to even speak about it, but not if I take a step forward. The abortion centre is right up there. That's where we used to pray when we first came here. Now we've had to move right down here. And the sad thing is, of course, that the further away that we've moved, apart from it just being an infringement on our rights, the sad thing is that we can't reach women as easily. You know, the reason that we've come here isn't to protest. The reason we've come here is to try and offer help and alternatives to women. And of course, the further away we are, the less chance there is of doing that. I think it's clear that this buffer zone has been brought in really just simply because we are pro-life, because it's an opinion that some people disagree with. All the things that have been levelled against us, that we are blocking highways, that we've got posters and banners, images that they don't like, that we shout at women, none of these things can be proved because they haven't happened. We're just simply there peacefully offering alternatives and real help to women in difficult situations. That's it. As you can probably see here, some of the locals have made it quite clear that they don't want us here. Signs that are telling us that we're not welcome, the local community doesn't want or need us. Go away, 93% say go, 40 days for life are not welcome.
We're the ones that are being abused. We've had people walking past calling us all sorts of obscenities and saying that, you know, we're coming after children. And all we're doing is standing here and just offering help and just being a prayerful presence for people.
Some people might not believe me when I tell them that I was harassed and physically assaulted, but I have video evidence on my phone. The first thing I did when I started to be harassed was to get my phone out, switch the video on, and I have extensive evidence that this is what's taken place, and I know many other people do as well.
Why do you think you can stand here in body, girls? Do you know what they've gone through to go in there? Do you care?
Don't touch my phone and don't touch me, I'm just warning you. It was pretty terrifying, to be honest, because I didn't know where it was going to end. I didn't know whether the person was going to, you know, thump me or what was going to happen as a result of that.
Move on, move on. You're occupying a corner of a road where people can't get past. Move it, move it, move it. This is not a vigil, this is an ambush. It's an ambush. Move!
To be honest, I think it's just lies and hype. We have never ever witnessed placards, and we have never seen negative behaviour by any of your people that come to pray. They're not cursing the street, they're blessing the people, they're praying for their families and their marriages. I mean, that has to be good.
The truth of the matter is, we are peacefully praying near an abortion facility and offering help and alternatives to women. How it's being portrayed is that we are harassing and intimidating people with horrible images and megaphones. These two things are polar opposites to each other, and we wouldn't want to be anywhere near a campaign that really acted like that.
Well, the PSPO was put in to protect, so-called protection, against us standing outside. So we've moved away, we've followed the law, and that's still not good enough. They actually just want us to disappear. And where's our choice? Where's our choice of being able to just stand here quietly, peacefully?
We are looking at legally challenging this PSPO because we believe it breaches rights to pray, freedom of speech, even rights of assembly. And it's also actually infringing on the rights of those women who are going into the abortion centre to have an alternative presented to them. Many of the women that we've helped in the past had been into an abortion centre, and when they were coming out and offered an alternative on the doorstep, they accepted it. So clearly they weren't being offered these alternatives inside the abortion centre. We want to make sure that at the very least they're offered them outside.